What's up, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Activ8 Radio. And we are here to activate your mind while we entertain and educate. And this episode and every episode is brought to you by Reebok. And we've got a special edition because we got our homeboy, Clay Guida, getting ready to fight for UFC 199. He's in the house. Johnny, how's our boy doing right there, huh?
I'll tell you what, man. If you guys remember the look on Roger Huerta's face, the look on Anthony Pettis' face, the look on Rafael dos Anjos' face, I think he's actually one of the top champions in the UFC right now. Clay broke his jaw. All those guys had a certain look. I call it the Guida look, and Clay is back in that place where he's ready to deliver the Guida, and that's what I call the look on their face when it's like mid-second round and they're on their back and they're like, I've tried everything to get up and I can't get up, and his chest hair's in my mouth. And I think that's what this guy's gonna taste.
Hey, well, one thing I want to say is I saw some pictures, Guida. I know you've been working your ass off. Your nutrition's been good, dude. You look ripped. You look like you're having fun. Talk to us, man. Night before the fight, what's up? Two nights before the fight.
I feel great, CG, to the familia and everyone, all our followers, all our listeners out there, man. We can't thank you guys enough for the support. And this is just a huge weekend. It's awesome to be part of UFC 199. The morale is high. Family just got in town. Johnny Fosco's in town. We're missing you. Cory.
We're missing the numero uno player himself.
But we're going to bring one back to the Midwest, man. I feel very good, very focused. Everything, the stars are aligned, man. And, Ortega is definitely a tough opponent, but he hasn't put his time in the sport, you know what I mean, yet. And we're going to make him pay come Saturday night, man. Everything's going better than ever, and I feel fantastic.
Cory, I'll get in that cage if I have to, but I won't have to because Clay's going to handle him really quick. But I would get in.
Basically, what it comes down to is T-City ain't motherfucking ready, is he?
T-City is going to stand for Takedown City.
Yeah.
He hasn't fought a wrestler of our caliber.
Headline.
He hasn't fought a Tasmanian devil of our caliber. Yeah. So, he's going to feel what the heat, what the pressure.
I like that,
man.
Takedown.
Ooh. I like it. Guida, I'll ask you a quick question. So, obviously, the last fight you had didn't end up how you wanted it. What did you build off of from the last fight to this fight? Like, what did you have a little chip on your shoulder even more so? I mean, you always kind of work as the underdog, like that's your MO. But like, was there just even a bigger drive for this fight?
Yeah, that last debacle, 30 seconds, that was a lesson learned, man. When you've been in the sport so long, every once in a while there's going to be, and for us that'll be just a one-time thing. It was just a little mental lapse, I guess, if you will. But when you're in a sport so long at the top level, sometimes you get caught. It's just that simple, you know what I mean? But focus, clear mind, and clear vision back to where I want to be on the top. And we're always up right there. We're always one fight away from being in the top 5. And a big win come Saturday is going to get us. It's going to escalate us right back up to where we've been, where we're going to go.
Clay, listen, we always shoot straight here, and shooting straight. We're going to talk as outsiders here, not as the family. You're a huge underdog. People think you're done. They think you're a veteran. They think you're washed up. They don't think you have anything that you had before. And the three of us know the truth. And physically, I think people can see when you enter that cage that you have it. But what is the explanation outside of I'm ready you give to those people who have seen you make mistakes that you didn't earlier on, or just maybe not come out to play like you used to? What do you say to those people who say you are done and this is why?
Oh, it's going to be a rude awakening for Brian Ortega and the fans. I don't have anything to prove to anyone. I've proven so much in this sport, to myself and to the fans. We've had Fight of the Night wins. We've had Fight of the Night losses. We've beat world champs. We beat former world champs. I've lost to the top guys. You're going to see the old-fashioned get in there, grind them out, and you're going to see fast and furious, man. And it's going to be balls to the wall, just like we used to. And there is no time to think. It's time to perform. The thinking's done. It's time to go out there and take what's mine. All the hard work is done. It's time to go out there and get my hand raised and handle business like we do well.
So here's the question. Are you fighting to fight, or are you fighting to get back on that track to go after gold? Because those are two, a prize fighter and a championship fighter are two different things. You know that. I know that.
Yep.
Where are you at?
Always been championship fighter. I've always had that mindset when I got in the sport. I got in the sport to be a champion. I got in the sport to have fun. And there's one thing I haven't done in the UFC, and that's become champion. That's on my radar. That's on my to-do list, and it starts Saturday.
Well, dude, you beat all the top guys too, Clay. You know you got it, dude. That's it.
Yeah, but guess what? That was years ago. That's in the past, and
you're only as good as your last fight.
Exactly. You know, people right now in people's minds, 30 seconds is what's in their mind. And guess what? That was in me for a while. It's out of me. I'm on to bigger and better things, and that was just a short term. You have to have short-term memory in the sport, and guess what? Come Saturday night, you're going to see a vicious, down and dirty Ultimate Warrior.
Here's what I believe. Anytime you face adversity like that and you can push through it, there's a blessing on the other side. So you go through adversity, now you get a chance to redeem yourself on a whole nother level on a big stage at 199. I just know it. I can feel it, Guida. I can feel it.
Man, wake your ass up, man. People better be planted in front of their TVs because we're headlining the Fox Sports prelims. Yeah. It's going to be awesome. We're going to open up for the pay-per-view, and we're going to want those people just cheering for more. We're going to set the stage for the whole night, man.
And here's the one thing I want to say is Brian Ortega, the guy who he's fighting, it's not some slouch. This kid's undefeated. This kid's looked at as one of the next big things in the weight division. So we're not going in against some guy, okay, we just lost, let's run through. No, everybody expects him to win, and everybody expects this kid to be one of the next big things. So I want everybody to understand that this isn't Ortega, if you haven't heard of him. No, this guy's tough. But when you see Clay own him, that doesn't speak to Ortega's toughness. That speaks to how ready Clay is. And that is, like Clay said, that's in the past. Dos Anjos, great in the past. Pettis, great. And it's time to do it now, because in fight sports, you're as good as your last fight. And Saturday night, I mean, it's statement time. And I'll tell you what, no bullshit. I've seen this guy warm up for almost fucking 10 years. And I've never seen him like this. So, man, you guys got to tune in. You have to tune in. Saturday night, the lead-in is at about 8:30 or 8:15 Central Time.
Yep. Yeah, I was told from the UFC we'll be fighting around 6:30 or something.
Pacific time. Pacific. So yeah, that's Central.
Have those TVs set. Have those DVRs set. Don't even DVR. Just be there. Be ready to watch.
Dude, there's gonna be a lot of hair going on, guys. Lots of hair.
Always.
Yeah. So listen, guys. Clay's got to get to his training session. He took some time out. You know, he's got a little. He's way ahead of his weight cut. He's always prepared. Is always like everyone in the Activ8 family is. Cory helped him with his diet. He's got a fucking epic team, and Clay's got to get off. But thank you, my friend, for joining us.
Guys, thank you so much once again to CG out in Ohio. Coming at you guys from Hermosa Beach out here. And come Saturday night at the Forum, we're going to wreck the house on that place. It's going to be unbelievable. To the Familia, thank you for all the support. To Activ8, everyone, I'm so pumped to be part of this. And we're going to make you guys proud Saturday night.
I'm going to translate what he said. He's going to fuck that fool up.
And Guida, this is what Fosco did. Fosco did this to me one time. He said it out of the blue. I said, dude, I love you, brother. Kill it.
Love you, brother, for all the Hulkamaniacs out there. Let me hear you. Thank you guys. Appreciate it.
All right, Clay. Fosco. So now we're on to right off to the finals.
I'm pumped,
brother.
Cory. I'm pumped. Dude. The problem is I need like a 2-minute. I need like a shot or something. Because I'm pumped up. I want to hurt some.
So
I don't want to hurt anybody. I just want to punch someone.
Let's talk about what you're seeing out of Clay, just from the standpoint of his mannerisms, the way he's operating right now. Like, kind of like elaborate on that just a little bit for the listeners.
Sure. So the fantastic thing about fight sports, especially MMA, because it is a real fight. It's not a boxing match. It's a culmination of your life at a certain point in time. So when you look at a guy who goes out and performs at a phenomenal level, it's not because he just had a great training camp. That's probably 60% of it. It's because the home life was steady, was stable. There was no girlfriend issues. There was no children issues. Like, it's a culmination of everything. And Clay has had some adversity outside the cage over the past 3 years. And the reason I asked him the question I asked him is because, I wanted to see if he was willing to go there or not. And he wasn't. That's fine. That's his choice. But, for all you guys who are fans of fight sports and sports, when you see an epic athlete, but we're going to use a fighter, not perform, like you're confused, like what's going on? I'll tell you what's going on. Outside of the gym, outside of the cage is not running smoothly, but that's not something you talk about in your interviews. You don't say, oh man, I think my wife's cheating on me, man. I'm looking at her Facebook every day. You don't say that. It's just spending time in your head for 10 hours a day. So I can tell you right now, Clay's head is clear. And I think we all know Clay is kind of like the Rocky Balboa of MMA, in that his skill is not at the top level, but his heart, there's nobody who's got more of it. So if this kid's turned on, like if he's turned up, dude, I truly feel sorry for Ortega, because he does not know the next level. So before I close, you asked me about what I saw. Last night, here's what I saw. His coaches are like, let's get 60 minutes of light work. Done. 60 minutes is up. He says 30 more. They look at him, they go, no, Clay, that's too much, man. It's too. He says 30 more. And he goes fresh body. He brings in Danny Castillo. Danny Castillo's he knocked out Ricardo Lamas, tough guy. They're going at it. Fresh body. For 30 minutes, he's bringing in fresh bodies, and Clay's submitting all of them. Like, and he's got Pantera blasting in the background. And he's just loving it. And this is at like 11:15 at night. And this is what I'm talking about. It's what we always talk about, Corey. That's passion. That is passion.
Yeah. He's the epitome of it.
It's the epitome. And so, I'm biased. I love the guy, but to see that out of him, it really like warms my heart, because I know he's going to perform.
So cool, man. And look, if you want to root for a guy in the sport, how can you not root for Clay Guida? I mean, dude, that's just what it comes down to. Way before we had the personal relationship, when we early started, sponsoring Guida, I got the picture right behind me from one of the fights we sponsored from back in the day at Muscle Farm. Like, it was really because we were rooting for him, we were fans, because we love that guy that comes out with a chip on his shoulder. No one expects to win, and he just outworks motherfuckers. I love it,
and he gets hit with cinder blocks, and he keeps coming, bro.
He just keeps coming. The hair keeps moving. I mean, it's like it's unbelievable. So one, that's exciting for our family at Activ8 Media.
Absolutely.
That Guida being a partner, and it's a big fight for him. And then with 200, with Travis coming up, and so we've got some big things going on with our two guys, man, which is awesome.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, man. You hit the nail on the head. We do have some big things going on, and I saw two. I'm not going to name who they are. All-American wrestlers on top of Travis, fresh bodies every 5 minutes. 2 days ago, rotating for 5-minute breaks. And Travis was not only getting up, but he was putting them in position to unload. So, basically, I love the mentality in the fight game of, let's put you in the position where you are the last place you want to be. And let's get the toughest dudes who are best at holding you there or keeping you there. And let's put them on you. And then let's see if you can get up. And let's work that for 2 hours. Like, that's how you get better. That's how you get better, because when you go to hell, man, you know how to get out.
Yeah, this is true. John, I think it's time to go to the hot seat. I think it's time to go to the hot seat. And so I can't remember whose turn it is first.
I think I go first, right?
I think it is your turn. So I'm on the hot seat.
You are on the hot seat.
So let me explain what the hot seat is for you new listeners. Hot seat is 3 random questions that we don't make up before, that John and I get a chance to learn more about each other, and you get a chance to learn more about us both. So, John, you go first. I'm on the hot seat. What do you got?
Number 1. What fight is Clay Guida being introduced in the background, in the picture? If you're watching YouTube, if you're not watching YouTube, you should be, in the background of your house, Corey. What fight is that?
Oh. Shoot. I remember when he had his hair like that, too.
Yes, there's a dead giveaway with the hair, brother.
Yes, because he had his hair braided.
Who was the guy who made him braid it?
Oh, it was Gray Maynard.
Yes, sir, you got it.
Yeah.
You did the Family Feud style on this one. Good word.
Nice. See, I'm a true fan.
Yes.
True fan.
Okay, number 2. We're going MMA heavy here.
All right.
Outside of Clay or Travis, because those are unfair answers, who is your relationship free? I know you got a relationship with Mike Bisping, Rampage.
Yep.
Who is your favorite fighter to watch of all time in MMA? Most enjoyable to watch. Like, you hear his name, you look forward to it most.
So the first person that pops into my head is Heyday Jose Aldo. I got to say that I remember when we sponsored him, like in the WEC. Oh yeah. He came when he beat Cub Swanson.
That knee, bro.
I was a fan. That might have been maybe second or third fight in the WEC. It was early, wasn't it, John?
Dude, it was a 4-second knockout. He sprinted at him and did a bicycle knee from
so,
I don't even want to say hell. Yeah.
So I was early in the sports still at that point. We had just signed a deal with the WEC. He's wearing, I remember clear as day, he's wearing cage fighter shorts.
Brown.
Yes. At the time, I had a logo on him. My logo was still kind of white at that point. It wasn't even green yet. Yeah. He sprints across and just takes Cub out and then does like a backflip. And I called Brad and was like, whoever the fuck this guy is, he is a freak and we need to sponsor him continually. And I picked him. I knew he was a champ, dude, because he looked next level explosive. That's the only way I could explain it.
He brought a shovel to that fight, bro.
It was unbelievable, John. I mean, unbelievable. So, yeah, Jose Aldo, the Heyday Jose Aldo.
Okay, I like it. Number 3. If you could uproot your family peacefully, no issues, and live in any state in the United States, what would it be?
You know what's so funny is I'm starting to have, I'll call it an affection for Boston.
Yeah, dude.
Like,
Boston's
so,
kind of dope.
But I don't know. I think that because we've been there a lot, you and I both been there. I've been there with Reebok a whole bunch.
Sure.
But I will tell you that if my family, meaning like my grandparents, like if my immediate family could be around me, I would probably pick like Maui though, just because I don't know that it gets. I mean Hawaii. I don't know that it gets more beautiful than anywhere in the planet because you go up a mountain on one side. And then you turn around, and it's the ocean. It's unbelievable. So if I had to stay continental, I think I'd go to Boston because of the history and how sweet it is. But I would say if I go outside of that, I'd go Hawaii for sure.
I like it, brother.
It's your turn, John.
I'm ready, brother. You don't got to ask no more.
So you're in Cali, right now?
Yes, sir.
Obviously. What is your favorite city in California?
Okay. There's so many of them. You're not talking major. You're talking about yeah. I would say my favorite city is Newport Beach. Okay. It's beautiful. It's expensive, but it's just one of those places where you go and you're like, man, living here would be so sweet because it's not like being on an island where, like if you live there, it would be just a bit rough for some obvious convenience reasons. It's just like, it's like the best of life, and it's gorgeous. The only thing I will say is this, for those of you guys who do a lot of business, doing business with people from California, and I got love for all you guys. You guys just work a little slower, You guys have a lot more. I'll get to that tomorrow, bro. So that would get to me.
You definitely are East Coast when it comes to that, ain't you, John?
Yeah, I'm New York when it comes to that.
Yeah.
New York is like, you got 3 minutes. You got 3 minutes.
You know what's so funny about New Yorkers? Every time I was dealing with these Wall Street cats, be like, you can't talk to me like that. I'm from New York. What the fuck does that mean?
Man,
I mean, I love
it's like, bitch, I'll slap you, dude.
Well, it's not even that. It's just like,
no,
and I used to go, and I'm from Ohio, too. What the fuck does that matter?
Yeah, and I'm from Chicago, Al Capone.
Yeah.
I mean, what do you want, a massacre?
So, sorry, all you New Yorkers, but I don't think that's an answer.
Dude,
I'm just saying.
Your pizza ain't Chicago pizza, and you ain't as tough as Chicago, and boom.
Oh, Fosco, you're gonna have a new inbox. You're gonna have a new inbox now. All right. Question number 2. You've had tons of MMA memorabilia through your career. What is your prized possession of MMA memorabilia?
That one's easy. So our good friend who started the podcast with us, Clay, it was my birthday. I was in Vegas for a fight, and he kept like leaving the room at like odd times, and like, I'll be right back. And by the end of the weekend, this is the type of guy he is. Think about this. This is when Clay's very popular in the UFC, as he still is. He went and he bought a like one of the last remaining like real Pride jerseys you could buy, and he went to every single fighter from Vitor Belfort to Anderson Silva to John Jones to all the way on down, and he got about 80 autographs. And at the top it said, "Happy birthday, John." And he gave it to me by the end of the trip. And basically what he was doing is he was just running out and collecting signatures at times. And like I talked to people afterwards, and they were like, "Dude, he was making phone calls. Like, when's it? Like, I guess on Vitor, like, I guess he had to track him down. Like, I mean, that's Clay. Like, he's such a good, like, who would do that?
Yeah,
like,
that's pretty cool.
It's awesome.
Yeah, no, it's cool to watch, like, as you guys, how your relationship started, you sponsored him, how you've helped him, and he's helped you both ways. I mean, your guys' relationship from a business management standpoint couldn't be better, John. We're
lucky. We're one of the lucky ones.
For sure. All right, last question. Oh, I got it. If you could be any NFL football player, past or present, tomorrow... At their heyday on the field, who would it be, John?
Dick Butkus. Dick was the meanest motherfucker to ever strap on a helmet. He was a Chicago Bear, and to this day, if he had it his way, he would die on a football field. I mean, Dick Butkus embodies the sport of football. He embodies the Chicago Bears. He embodies Chicago, and he's the baddest ass motherfucker I've ever seen on a football field.
Dude, you know what's so funny? You couldn't. That question was barely out of my mouth, and you already knew the answer. It was like not even a.
Go watch for you young cats. Go watch YouTube highlight reels of Dick Butkus, and when he hits you, man, he didn't want to like, oh, let's stop him for fourth. He wanted to know. He wanted to let you know, if you ever run my way again, you are going to be in the hospital. I mean, he tried to hurt some tactics that would be very illegal today, but he was the meanest son of a bitch. Oh my!
He said, I watched an interview. He said he tried to hit through you.
Yes. Oh yeah.
Like, and that was his and he didn't want you to want to run his way. Like, he was a bad mofo.
Dude, when he would hit people, just a quick thing. You're always supposed to never stop moving your legs, drive through people. Like, he would get them perpendicular to the ground, and like as his legs are in the sky, they're still like going back and forth like he's running because he's driving them further into the ground, dude. The dude, oh my God, was he? I mean, and that's before the era of super performance enhancing drugs. I mean, these dudes took their shirt off and they looked like your dad, and it's they were that badass.
They were just tough motherfuckers for sure.
Ray Nitschke, oh jeez.
Yeah, forget about it.
Forget about it, guys.
I love it. All right. Now it's time for You Got Mail. Johnny's inbox. John, do you have anything? Get your phone close by?
Yeah, I got so much. Hang on one sec.
Yep.
I haven't been on top of my Instagram stuff, but
no worries.
we will be.
We'll use this as a second as Johnny brings up the inbox.
Yeah.
Once again, this is brought to you by Activ8 Media and Reebok.
You got to be more human, Corey. You
exactly.
You got to, brother.
I was rocking my pumps today, getting ready for.
Dude, I want some of those. Dude, let me tell you guys. When we were at Reebok, I saw some retro Reebok pumps. And again, if you guys didn't grow up in the pump era, when the Reebok pump came out, man, for dudes our age, right, like early 30s, like it was the shoe. If you didn't have it, you were asking mom and dad to borrow it, and they have the dopest colorways, man. I gotta get a pair of those. Okay, you got mail. Da, da, da. Wow. Okay.
How's the weather? How's the weather up here, Johnny?
Beautiful.
Is it?
Yep. Okay. Okay. So this is just kind of this is a solid one. John, huge follower of the podcast. You and Cory G do a great job. I caught on episode 41 that you did some roofing in your younger days. Funny thing is, me and my brother are in the process of starting our own roofing business. Obviously, I've picked up some great tips and been super motivated through your podcast. I know you are a super busy man, but if you could give me advice or suggestions in the startup process, it would be beyond appreciated. I also give you a huge kudos to your fight against painkillers. My brother went through that addiction and is now 100% recovered. Golf clap.
Nice.
Nice. I know how they wreck people and families. Keep up the good work, brother. Okay, so a startup on a roofing company. I love, as a business, the roofing business, because it is very, it lacks major players unless you're in certain geographical areas. So when you have a business that doesn't have a McDonald's, right, you can hustle business. You can go ring doorbells. You can give estimates. So here's my advice. If you don't have warm leads, or if you don't have a book of business, if you don't have a reputation, but you know the craft, you got to go old school here. Here's what I need you to do. I need you to get $1,000 together, okay? Get $1,000 together. Spend $250 on flyers, okay? These flyers are for mailboxes and for car windows, whatever. People may think they're annoying, whatever. Do that. Number 2, until you have business, either you, your brother, or an associate, I want you guys knocking on doors. And it's very simple. You're a roofer, right? So what do? You drive down a street, and then you look up, and then you can see a roof that needs some work. And guess what? If you're a homeowner and your roof needs work, dude, you got to get the work done. So you just go old school on it. And then what happens, like the roofing company I worked for was in business for 30 years, and I later got a piece of it and got out of it. But it was amazing because the reason I got out of it is because the owner, the original owner, said we had to turn down jobs. Now, in my entrepreneurial brain, I do not comprehend that. I said, why do we have to turn down jobs? He says, well, because we're booked for the year. I said, well, let's go get more labor. He says, well, if we go get more labor, the work isn't going to be as good. And at that point, you know, that's the line of micromanagement that we're not going to get into now. But here's what you do. You got your $1,000. You spend $250 on flyers. Okay? I want you to spend the rest of that money, this may sound funny, on a brand, right? Roofing companies, it's always B&B roofing. Like, if you have a little bit of a brand, okay? I don't care if you go to a website. I don't care if you go to a local guy to just give you just a color that's synonymous and a basic name. I want you to have flyers, and I want you to have a brand, and I want you and your brother, if you don't have business, to drive down streets, knock down doors, let those people feel your passion about fixing their roof, and then you will start to get work done. Once you get work done, you will get referrals, and you will have a very profitable business. The roofing business is a very, very good business. So good on you for being on top of that, and we wish you the best of luck. Cory, any tips from him?
Yeah, I think that obviously it comes back to there's a grind part of it, which is literally driving door to door. there's the look part of it, which is how do you make yourself look a little bit different. And at the end of the day, it's like, if you guys want it to pop, it'll pop just because you're going to stay consistent doing these few things that John just mentioned. It really just depends on how bad you want it. It's almost like you talked about, John, about having 100 calls a day. You need to knock on 100 doors. I'll tell you, the financial planner that I work with currently, I met him, even though he's from the area I grew up in. I didn't know that before he knocked on my door. This dude went out and knocked on doors, so many doors every week. As bad, went to the nicest neighborhoods, and dude, he built a book of business of easy over $30 million.
Sure.
And but it was, now he's, and like you said, now it's maintenance.
And now he never knocks on doors again.
He doesn't have to. Yeah, exactly. So, and he also said you'd be surprised what people will tell you just because you knocked on their door.
Exactly, bro. It's like, I call this one, I think I shared it with you, Corey. I call this the Hooters girl rule, right? Like,
please, John.
So many guys go to Hooters and they're like, oh my God, look at that girl. She's so, oh my God. And it's like, bro, like, do you like her? Like, are you into that? Yeah, but she's listen, she's a person, you're a person. So what do people do, right? They talk to each other. So I suggest you just chill out a little bit. You gather yourself, stop sweating, go to the bathroom, clean your face, and then go ask her name, okay? And talk to her like you would talk to that a guy if you were to go talk to a guy. Like they're humans, they're people, and it's the same thing, man. When you talk to people, like you just said, it's amazing what you can get done. Hence the Hooters reference.
What'd you call it again? The Hooters what?
Hooters. I call it the Hooters rule, or
the Hooters girl rule. That's gonna definitely get tweeted to you.
Dude, it's true, man. It makes me so mad when I'm with dudes. Dude, shut up. Gather yourself and go talk to her.
Don't pee down your leg.
Yeah, man. Come on, guys, get with it.
John, I'm gonna go out on a lim and say you've been with some Hooters girls in the past.
Oh,
You don't have to answer that. I'm just messing with you.
Put it this way: I planted my flag of ownership in like 3 different locations, like for 2 years on end. Anyways, they're good people. They're very nice girls. They're incredibly intelligent, and they're nice, and they're friendly, and they have good food, very good food at Hooters. But the way we'll end Johnny's inbox is we always do. Really, really good girls. The way we're going to end this is we're going to talk about, we're going to go over the 2 pillars of how we're fighting this addiction thing, and the tide we believe is turning, guys, because I actually saw on TV, it was fantastic, a Bernie Sanders rally. He had about 24,000 young kids, and he brought up narcotic, painkiller addiction, and he literally hit on some of these topics, and he kind of touched on what we talked about. He talked about doctor responsibility, and then he talked about kind of just guys like reject it, like you can get by with other things. So that kind of equates to get tougher. So our 2 principles are, well, first off, it's #time to get tough. First, no dental procedure merits narcotic painkillers. I don't want you to inbox me. Okay, you can inbox me always. I don't want to hear about, shut up. If you have a dentist do anything to your mouth, you do not need synthesized heroin. Number 2, okay? In life, we respect people's boundaries. Okay, that's how we get along with people. But when you're dealing with substances that are given by trusted people like doctors, we have to cross people that we care about and we love. We have to cross their boundaries. We have to open the medicine cabinet. We have to grab our mom's pills. We have to have a conversation with our mom, and then we have to have a 3-way conversation with our mom and the doctor so we can figure out how to wean our mom, our brother, our sister, anyone off the drugs. So let's get tougher. No dental procedures merit it. And let's cross boundaries, and let's just care, okay? This spreads into friends. You guys are doing a great job. You're talking about it a lot on Instagram. I see that. I appreciate that. And like I said, we're going to repeat this every motherfucking show because people are dying, and we have a problem with that.
Yeah, well said, Johnny. Well, I think it's time for a...
toe spike, double bicep.
Yeah, boom.
I don't see the toe spike, Corey. I don't see it.
I'm spiking, John.
Okay,
I'm spiking.
I got it.
I'm spiking. Hey, but what I'm not going to be spiking is my insulin, John, and that's what we're going to talk about today.
Ooh.
So what I want to kind of share with you guys today is more of a nutrition tip. Is that a lot of people ask me all the time about the diets I've done over the past, the anabolic fasting I do now, and one tip I want you guys to gather is do not spike your insulin throughout the day. That's like the biggest
Corey,
thing people mess up.
Spiking insulin for the novice.
Yep. Absolutely. So that is you're eating something that raises your sugar level. Now that could be any type of sugar, table sugar, fruit,
candy.
or candy, or carbohydrates that raise your sugar because when they're broken down, bread, pasta, potatoes. And so what happens is, you know, when you're at work in your cubicle and you look over at 3 o'clock and there's a guy that's like almost hitting his face on the desk, or he's the one slamming 2 monsters because he can't keep his can't keep his eyes open because he had pasta fazool for lunch.
Oh.
But that's the key, or gnocchis and pasta fazool, I should say. So it's like one of those things where if you keep it, gnocchi, whatever. Well, that's something else. Basically, if you keep your insulin stable throughout the day, your energy stays stable. And I always take it back to what diabetics have to do, okay? Diabetics have to maintain their insulin between 90 and 120 all day long on their blood tests to make sure that they don't crash out and basically pass out, right? And so basically that's the exact same thing, but just to the extreme level where it's like a health risk for them. Well, you need to do the same thing. People just don't do it. And so when you're in these big swings of, I'm tired, now I've got sugar or caffeine or whatever to get me up, well, then it's going to crash again. And then it goes up and down and up and down. And what happens is over time, you just keep spiking. Well, as you keep spiking, eventually it's like a beaker of sugar and carbohydrates, and it's called glycogen. Well, once the beaker's filled up, so you're just putting in more sugars, breads, and it spills over. Once the beaker spills over of all that stuff, that's when you start gaining body fat. So not only are you tired, then you're also gaining body fat on top of it. And when you lift weights, when you work out, that depletes that beaker. And then when you're not eating all that stuff, that beaker doesn't overflow. And so all you're trying to do for your body is to keep that beaker basically in check so it's not overflowing. And that there's just enough in there that you have enough energy from what the quality stuff that you're eating. And when you have that thing out of balance, that's when you're super fucked, basically.
Super fucked. I like that. I don't know what it means, but
you like
it's powerful.
So it is powerful.
Yeah.
So
I mean, anyways, I should stop myself.
So that hashtag might show up too.
Yeah, I mean, let's just be real here. Sometimes some girls might like walk home like in the morning and they might say that, and that might be a good thing, right? I mean, I don't know. You invented it. I didn't.
So you can between that and your Hooters reference, we're in trouble.
Oh, we're in trouble. Thank God the FCC doesn't even give a shit about us.
I know, that's for sure. All right, so anyway, back to it. So the whole key is that's the balance. So if you will look at your day's food that you're eating and you will keep it low sugar, low carbohydrates, so eat quality foods, and then a lot of people always tell me they have a hard time going to sleep. I actually recommend in anabolic fasting that we eat sugar before bed, meaning natural sugars, bananas, peanut butter with some fats, those type of things, because I create that spike for you so you can have a deeper sleep. Okay. So if you keep your insulin stable, part of the problem is you go up and down all day, and it's also you have like a hard time sleeping. Where if we can just keep you stable, spike you before you go to bed, you sleep like a baby. So that's the tip today. You can spike your toe on your double bicep, but don't spike your insulin, John Fosco.
Well, yeah, and don't get super fucked, or maybe you should. Or maybe you do. I don't know. Depends who you are.
I love it. Hey, so all right, we always like to give you a business takeaway, especially after that last comment. We always like to give you a business takeaway, and John was really busy out there being with Clay, helping him get ready for the fight. So I made this one up myself, and then John, you can add in. Oh, hold on, the computer went dead. All right, so this actually goes perfect with what we just talked about.
Oh boy.
Okay. You always talk about how persistent you are in sales, John. So I came up with the 3 ways to be persistent and win when no doesn't mean no, it means yes. So that's terrible. Terrible timing.
Horrible segue. Just you're fired.
Horrible
segue. Fired.
And so because basically when I was getting, when John was harassing me,
when I was assaulting him verbally.
Yeah. So the first time you go to a big account and they say, well, I'm not really into it. John never quit, but he never came back to me the same way. And so I would like to see, like, John, do you have 3 tips on how you go back to that account and to help yourself win when they thought it was a no?
Right. Okay. So number 1 is, only choose to go after things in that manner. And I believe you should go after everything in that manner. And this connects. Only choose to do that when you believe in it. So we'll use Cory as an example. The service I thought I could provide to Muscle Farm, and Cory was running point on it. Albert Einstein could have came back from the dead, and he could have told me, theoretically, you're wrong, and he could have given me 100 reasons, and I would not have believed him. Okay? I believed that what I was pitching would help them. So every time I heard a no, or we got to wait, or this or that, it didn't register with me. I said, okay, I got to come back, and I have to present it, right? Okay, so number 1 would be, you have to believe in what you're coming with. Because when you believe, you don't say, hi, I'm John with Activ8 Media. I have a way to get your company seen by more people, and you'll save money. Are you interested? See, you won't sound like that. You won't sound like that, right? If you believe in it, you'll sound like how you hear me and Cory talk. That's number 1.
Yep.
Number 2, if you say something today and it didn't work, you say it tomorrow differently. I can say the same thing. I can ask you the same question 1,000, 5,000, 30,000 different ways. You could preface it. You could bring people. So present the same concept. 30. I did say 30,000. Fuck it. I'll take it up to 100,000. Present the same concept in different ways. Okay. And number 3, the biggest one. Make light of what you are doing. Because if you don't make light of the fact that you are a relentless, almost gnat, like, dude, would you quit it already? Like, you need to make light of that, because when you make light of that with the client who you're trying to get something done with, you kind of can both laugh about it. It's like, you motherfucker, you're going to call me again Tuesday. And you're like, you're damn right, I'm going to call you Monday. And you're like, all right, dude, I'll talk to you. You build a relationship that way. So humanize the person by making light of the fact that you are a relentless motherfucker. So to recap, number 1, Cory, believe. Number 2, you can present it in up to 100,000 different ways per John Fosco. And number 3, make light of what you are doing to humanize the relationship between yourself and the person you are trying to get a deal done with.
Yeah, so a couple things I can relate to on that. My number 3 is always when I'm blowing somebody up, I'm like, look, dude, I'm just going to keep blowing you up like an ex-girlfriend until we get it together.
Right, you're making light of it. You're right, exactly. That's perfect.
And everybody had an ex-girlfriend or boyfriend that blew them up like that. So they're like, yeah, dude, you're right. You are blowing me up like an ex-girlfriend. Like,
right.
So it makes everything a little lighter. And to your number 1 point is like, if you're going in for an ask, you can't be bringing like C- game. Like, they know you're weak. They hear it in your shaky ass voice. Like,
you can't blink.
No, you got to be able to say, and I'll come back to the first time I made $100 an hour as a personal trainer. I said it with no crack in my voice, and the guy paid it like it was nothing.
You know what I want to say really quickly, and you hit the nail on the head. When I know, just like you just referred to, that I'm making an ask that is risky, right? I say to myself, okay, as you say these words, lock on their eyes and do not move. Like, I literally tell myself that because when you're making an ask that's risky, human nature makes you shake. And so, guys, preempt yourself when you're trying to sell something or make a deal. Say, okay, now I'm going to lock into this dude's eyes when I make my ask for 30 seconds, and I'm not going to blink, and I'm going to stare right through him. I do that every time.
That doesn't surprise me, but it is something that people pick up on, because if you look away, you look down, you look, all those mannerisms
weakness.
show weakness or lack of confidence.
Yep.
Interesting. You this is completely off topic, but you basically you read mannerisms and body language well, right, John? Like, that's something you've kind of over the years you've kind of got onto.
Yeah, I got a few advantages in that department we've talked about.
Yeah, I forgot about that. One. So, look, John, I know that you're busy out there helping our boy Guida. We've got great interview with Guida. We had the hot seat, Johnny's inbox. Don't spike your insulin. No doesn't mean no. It actually means yes when you're trying to get a business ask.
Yes.
So, why don't you wrap it up? I know you got UFC 199 coming up. Tell everybody to get ready for the weekend, and I'll let you get out of here.
Get ready for the weekend. I know all our listeners are not UFC fans, but, and I'm not just saying this, Clay Guida embodies what the family is about, right? Clay Guida embodies the familia. So, listen, we don't make money when you watch him, okay? But I would recommend watching him, because win or lose, and he will win, everything I swear to God, everything we talk about, from vision, belief, passion, drive, all that, you will see it in physical form manifest in front of your eyes when Clay Guida fights. You will see effort. You will see you will see all those things. So I strongly recommend you guys watch that. And all I can say is that we were making some good jokes about everything. But listen, we have the utmost respect, and we're gaining more and more and more and more female fans. So we got nothing but platonic love for you, for all our female fans, man, because you guys are helping balance us out. So thank you for that. And
Absolutely.
We're men, but we're joking, and we're not here to offend. We're here to educate, activate, and have fun. But here's what I'd say, guys. The show is in a great place because of you. You hear us reference numbers a lot. The numbers right now are kind of taking that next level move. And when we look at social media, it's strictly connected to you guys, all of our activators sharing. Just so you know, if you want to be an activator, and you can get all the information from an individual named Brian Perry. He works for us. Email ACTIV, the number 8, R, activator at Activ8 activ8media.com, and you can get involved and be part of the family officially. So these guys and gals have been pushing us up. So thank you for helping us grow the show. Thank you for helping us grow our YouTube. We're over 1,000, G. I know that number's small. I know the number's small, but it ain't small. That's the thing.
No, it's not small. Yeah, and if you're listening, if you listen to the podcast that haven't got on YouTube, we're dropping Activ8 dailies, Activ8 8s. We got all these different shows. And the reason why we have 1,000 subscribers, we've been dropping shows daily for, about 40 some days now. And we're not going to stop. So there's so much information, so much information there for you guys to learn, whether it's a 1 or 2 minute video up to a 20-minute interview. That's what you should be doing with your external time. I mean, 1,000,000%.
I truly, and Cory, I want to thank you for, I'm out here running around with a chick with my head cut off. I want to thank you for covering me on the daily stuff, because
no problem.
I haven't knocked mine out like I should have. So Cory's got my back like a good partner does. But here's the thing about our YouTube channel, guys. It's like this, man. It's like a truly a handbook for business, and it is timeless. These are principles. Cory talks about reading books that are 100 years old. These are principles. I swear to God, I'll have my kids watch our YouTube stuff, man. And I feel so rewarded that we could put out content nowadays. When you say all you see now is bullshit, we're putting out content that we believe has tangible value for you guys. And if there's any ideas on different content we could put out to help you, bring it. We will. Okay? We are Activ8 Media. You listen to a very special on location bootleg version of Activ8 Radio. We want you to absolutely enjoy your weekend. Have a safe weekend. Get refreshed. Watch our boy Guida fight, and get ready to get back and fight yourself on Monday, and have a great week of work. But on your drive to work Monday, you will hear us. So John and Cory are saying Activ8 out.
We're out.